Hey guys, my name is Komasan and I have watched the Fnaf 2 movie. Now this is going to be a spoiler-free review, whole kind of like video type of thing review, I guess you could say. So, no spoilers for the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie in this video, but there is going to be a spoiler video that has everything you need to know that happens in a Fnaf 2 movie, and more in detail like descriptions, what I thought and stuff like that. But let's just start off with the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. I was kind of, honestly, a little bit scared that the movie was going to be better than the first one, because I really enjoyed the first one. It was kind of hard to beat the first one, and thankfully the second movie did that perfectly, in my opinion. There was of course some problems with the movie, but I'll go into that later. And I honestly think this movie is kind of I know this doesn't really make sense later down, but I think the movie is a 10 out of 10 for me personally. The first movie for Five Nights at Freddy's was a 10 out of 10 for me, and this movie is better, so it kind of makes sense for it to be a 10 out of 10 as well. But I'm gonna tell you some stuff, guys, that without no spoilers, it's gonna be hard because this movie is just amazing. It was just crazy. There's so much stuff, but I know a lot of people complain about the original movie not being scarier, and this movie is way more scarier. It's not like crazy scarier, but there is some disturbing, creepy stuff in this movie. Some moments are like, whoa, what the fuck is that? Whoa, like getting shocked like that, like actually getting like, whoa, what the fuck's happening, basically. And that happened a few times in the movie. I'm gonna be saying that in the spoiler review because some stuff was like, holy crap, that is creepy as all heck. Like, this is some creepy stuff. I don't know how they did some of this stuff too. Like, it was just crazy. It was some crazy like effects or something. Like, it was just insane. It was scarier. It was way scarier than the first movie. First movie wasn't that scary. It wasn't that scary. I'm gonna be blunt with you guys. It wasn't scary. It was more of a thriller movie than a horror movie. And the FNAF 2 movie is kind of the same in a kind of a sense. There is more action, they won't lie about that, and there is more scares, but it's still kind of like not the scariest thing ever, you know. The movies versus a video game, it's a different horror factor. You're not the one being the player in the game or like controlling the character. You're just watching someone do something in a movie. It doesn't have the same effect as in the game. That's why I always thought like games were scarier than movies, because you actually have control over everything that happens rather than a movie. But like, it was pretty scary. It was scarier than the original one, so I can give it that. Funnier. The movie was actually funnier. There was more swearing in the movie, which I was kind of surprised about. I guess they wanted to really reach that PG-13 rating. So there was a lot of cussing. Lots of cussing. It wasn't like crazy amounts of cussing, but there was like some one-liners with some cussing, like reacts and cussing and stuff like that. Then I know pretty basic stuff, but some of the stuff in the movie was pretty funny. Animatronics were pretty funny with some stuff. I'm not gonna get into that though, of course, because that's spoilers. And just the main characters being funny, you know. Abby's funny as per usual, you know. She's a kid, so she better be funny. And it's just like, it's funnier, which is sometimes a good thing in a horror movie. You can have a balance of between scariness and funny stuff, you know. You can have a decent, you know, balance between that stuff, and it's good to have a movie, because if you're taking the FNAF movie seriously, there's actually something wrong with you, because like, it's a FNAF movie, you know. It's supposed to be silly, it's supposed to be fun while also being scary and intriguing with the lore. Which is one of the reasons why I was most interested about the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie, was the lore. And let me just tell you guys about the lore. This movie gives you so many freaking like what is gonna be in the next movie. Basically, this movie really does set up to the final movie in this trilogy, which is the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 movie. There's a lot of setting up to this movie, which is if you watch the movie, you would understand why I'm saying that. Like, everything kind of like is building up to this final movie, which is like kind of expected, but that also kind of hurts in a way. I honestly did not like the ending of the movie as much, because it just felt like a cliffhanger, honestly. I'm not sure if this is a spoiler or not. I guess maybe. I'm not going into detail of it, but like, it felt like a cliffhanger. But throughout the entire movie, a lot of stuff was happening. All of it was going towards the next movie that's gonna probably come out in 2 more years, which is the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 movie. So is it gonna be crazy? What's this movie gonna be like? The third movie is gonna be very exciting for us FNAF fans, and I can't wait, honestly, to watch it. The FNAF 2 movie was peak, so imagine the third movie. But like, so we talked about it being scarier, we talked about it being funnier, and the lore was pretty crazy. But what else? The acting. We used to go actually talk about the acting. honestly, the acting was a bit better with some characters, but sometimes the character like connections and like interactions felt kind of null. It didn't like feel like they were like in the first movie, like they had a connection. It didn't really feel like they had that in the second movie, which is like, I'm guessing they were expecting you to know like all the characters already, so there was like no time to really character build or stuff like that. But like there was basically none of that, and I find that very disappointing because you could do way more stuff with the characters in the Five Nights at Freddy's like movie universe. You could really branch out and discover what's happening. It does it like a little bit, but like not as like everybody. It does like single, like a one character, only like really one character, one main character that really gets like depth reveal, like secrets and stuff like that. So that was like a very disappointing part of the movie. Like I wanted them to like be like more interactive with each other, you know. They feel like a family, but they don't feel like a family, and that's kind of sad, you know. Mike's supposed to be like, you know, kind of like a stepbrother, not. He's supposed to be like a big brother to Abby, but also like a father figure because, you know, he is taking care of Abby and basically is his guardian. But like, I just didn't feel the connection in the movie with that, and that was like one of the biggest disappointments in my opinion. Which you guys probably don't care. You guys probably don't care about like stuff like that. You don't care about the connections. You guys only care about the lore and like the scale factor and stuff like that. But I like character development. I like that stuff a lot. It makes the story more intriguing in my opinion, and just having that kind of was underwhelming and disappointing in some aspects. The movie's still great though, don't get me wrong. I still think this movie is a 10 out of 10, but like both everything, nothing is perfect, even this movie. And yeah, there was like, that's like the biggest disappointment for me. But the animatronics, they looked amazing. Everything, they like, oh my god, the animatronics are crazy looking. They are absolutely crazy looking. It's kind of crazy on how they did the toy animatronics like that, in the way they're animatronics. This ain't a spoiler because, you know, you guys already know if you watch the trailers that they're in the movie. It should be pretty basic. There is some secret characters in the movie that I'm gonna be talking about in the spoiler review that actually made me like gas my mouth open. And I woke up my twin like, what the frick is going on? There is some stuff like that in the movie, which like if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan like me, you would just be amazed. Like some people I've seen like saying like it's like a point in like clicks and like, oh look at that, I know that. The movie isn't like that. I don't know why people are saying that. I think this maybe this stupid or something. And the same thing, I was watching some like, I was reading some critic reviews, and some people said the story was convoluted. Some people are saying the story was convoluted, and from the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 movie to the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie, the story is not complicated at all. I don't know what's wrong with those people. They must be sleeping during the movie because it's pretty simple on what's going on. I play the games, you know, I know the lore a decent bit, you know, because I make Five Nights at Freddy's videos, but this is like the easiest way to get into Five Nights at Freddy's lore. It's like, it's so simple. It's basically telling you. There is some problem solving skills, but people said it doesn't really like, it doesn't solve problems, which, you know, because it's leading towards the third movie. It's not going to solve all the questions and answers for this film. But like, yeah, don't listen to critics. They're stupid. They're very dumb. Yeah, they made no sense. They gave it such a bad score when there's like clearly other movies that are worse this year. This movie did have like a lot of love and energy put into it. I can tell, like, there was so much love and like tension to it. I just kind of was disappointed with the character development, but that's basically it. Overall, this movie was awesome. I can't wait to talk more about this in the spoiler video because that is going to be a more detailed video. I'm kind of like cutting around the edges with this video, and this video is just kind of like different. You can tell it's a different type of me in this video because there's no script. This is me talking, like just head like using my brain. Everything I'm saying, it's just, I love the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. It was better than I expected and everything I wanted at the same time. So it's not perfect. Nothing is perfect in life, but if you think like that with anything, honestly, then you'll be happy with what you get. But this was it for the spoiler-free video of the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. If you want to watch the spoiler video, I will warn you, there's going to be spoilers, you know, it's in the name. But if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. It helps out a lot. And thank you to my channel members for like this past year or two. It's been 2 years since I've been doing YouTube, since the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie, so I can't believe we're here talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. So thank you to my channel members. You can become a channel member for $1, $5, and $10 a month, and it helps out a lot. But I'll see you guys in the next video.